Poetry's really how it all got started with me, man. I used to write poetry, and then my buddies, like when I was in high school, they'd be like, rap, man. I'd be like, all right. I started to get to drinking, we get to doing it. But really, my mom had died last year, and then my twins died the next day, and I was about to just go fucking nuts, man. And then I wrote that song on Mumpy Road. I put it out, and it took off, man. I quit my job. I was working for the union, making good money, man. And I was like, dude, I think this will work, man. I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna quit my job. All my family was like, you're fucking dumb. You make like 20-something bucks an hour. I'm like, no, but I really think this is gonna work. I just said, fuck it, man. And then I met him, and we just took off with it, dude. Yeah, man, like I really knew shit was getting serious. I got booked for a mud bog in Tennessee. It was the first out-of-state show I did. And then when we got there, dude, it was like, there was a fucking line of people ready to do meet and greets. I was like, damn, how's all these people really know me like that? And then I done it, and then I just had a show in Mississippi with, it was Mississippi, and then the next day was Tennessee with church. And these motherfuckers, I'm up on stage, and they're singing this shit with me. I was like, wow, he went with me. I'm like, this is crazy. When we went to 2 different states back to back, in both places, man, like they all knew who I was, knew my music. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool, man. I couldn't believe it. Well, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Hosier765 or on Instagram at Hosier765.
Okay, so speaking about your Facebook, tell us a little bit about your fan spotlight.
What we've been doing is like the fans that's been down from like day one. The ones I see is just always sharing, liking my stuff. I'll like if they send me messages or if they've took pictures with me at shows, I'll like screenshot it and then post it on my page and tag them in it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to conversate with them and talk to them and hear their stories.
Right. I mean, that's always good for artists to kind of reach out because it kind of builds fan bases off that one fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So you have a new song dropping. Where can people find it?
Jammin' Sweet Home Alabama. It'll be on iTunes and Google Play and all major online sites on this Friday.
Okay, so do you have an upcoming album to put that on?
Yeah, it's called Paving My Way. It'll be out April 14th on like all major online sites.
Okay. How about upcoming shows?
We're doing a tour right now. It's called Twist the Top Tour.
Okay.
We've got shows booked all over, man. Different states here in Indiana.
So where are you going?
We've got some in Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, Ohio. It's a little bit of everywhere, man.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, so you do also throw your own events, like Mudstock.
Yeah, I throw these big like mud events. It's called Mudstock. You can find it on www.mudstock.net. It's a 2-day event. Have like camping going on out there, and like we'll dig like these really big mud pits, and like these big 4-wheel drive trucks will come through and just rip through them, and we'll book like big artists and have them come in for the weekend.
Nice.
There's woods with trails and stuff people go through. It's like 150 acres.
Wow.
What do you expect from? What can we expect if we go to this thing?
It'll be about 10 to 15,000 people, man, just out there going to town, man, having a blast. It's a great time.
That's awesome.
What shoes should we wear?
Either none or boots. And if you wear boots, like make sure you got them on tight. Last time, the last one, I come plumb out of my boots.
So for those who didn't know, he is a hip-hop artist that kind of brought country into hip-hop. Is that what you would say?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How would you kind of elaborate? Like, how would you describe yourself?
How would you describe it?
It's kind of hard to describe, man, because I do a little bit of everything, man. I got rock and roll into it, and blues, and country, and rap. It's kind of, I'm kind of trying to pave my own lane, man. Trying to be a little bit of everything so I can reach out to all different kinds of people.
Right. Now, who are some national artists that you've worked with?
This new album, I've got Upchurch the Redneck, Jelly Roll, Struggle, that's Waylon Jennings' grandson. I don't know if you know him or not, but Big Smo.
Okay.
A lot of guys, man. It's going to be a really good album.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So you just started this. Like, how long have you been doing this music stuff?
10 months.
Really?
10 months.
So how much success have you seen in those 10 months?
It's crazy, man. It really blew up overnight. I'd put the song out on the internet, and I'd hooked up with one of my buddies that was childhood friends that does videos, and we put the video out. And then a guy named Tyler Weaver had hit me up. He works at the Azimuth recording studio here in Indianapolis, and they had hit me up and brought me in, and we started working, man. We just went full bore with it, and it just kind of took off.
Wow. So now that, we heard Taylor Swift kind of elaborate how she kind of wants to make a country rap album.
Yeah.
which is kind of something like you're doing.
Yeah.
Is that something like you would wish to be on, or is that kind of
If she
the
wants-
avenue you're going for?
I'd hands down do some stuff with Taylor Swift. No problem.
Nice.
No questions asked.
Awesome. All right, so we have a single here. Would you like to introduce it?
Yeah, it's Jamin Sweet Home Alabama, and let me know what you guys think.
All right, so one more time for the people. What are your social media so they can find you right now?
You can find me at facebook.com/Hosier765 and on Instagram at Hosier765.
Country bumpers, some Skinner and Johnny Cash with the pedal on smash. I'll burn it down in my shotgun. Off to the high sun till the eyes is on blaze. Women.
Clicked in my head and I said something about jamming Sweet Home Alabama. I was like, man, that'd be a cool little line for a hook, man. And I used to love that song, man. I loved Alabama, so I was like, man, let's mess with it real quick. So I went to the house, wrote a few lines on it. I was like, all right, this is good. I'll come back to this later on. So we sat on that since last summer. And then finally I just put it together and it just kind of come together. That's really how I write music, man. Like, I'll say like a cool line, I'll be like, oh, that's a cool line to start off a hook, man. I'll write it down and I'll just come back to it later on. And something will happen or somebody will say something slick like the other night when we were out in the garage. Out there smoking, I come back in, they're on the house, I was like, don't say nothing to me. I was like, hold on a second. So I started writing it down, I was like, all right, I'll come back to this later. That's just how I always do it, man.